Whatever doubts you guys have, at the turn and then I'll address it. Okay.
So still
So
yesterday,
that
from
will be.
yesterday, I'm asking your number for asking doubts. So please share your number, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'll share it now.
Yeah, please share it in chat box, sir, so that I have some doubts in yesterday installing process of Kali Linux. So yeah, that's what I want to ask you doubts. No, I'm waiting for your number, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
I will text to this number.
sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. See your full name, sir.
My name is Cutie George. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Sure. EETIC, you can take it over.
We will start the session at 7:05.
Okay, so while we start the session at 7:05, just send me your doubts in the comment section. Okay, I'll just talk over those. Okay, what's all your doubts? I guess a lot of people have problems in installing Kali Linux. I guess in VirtualBox, right? So I will just tell you guys like for today, since VirtualBox cannot be like configured so fast, I would just tell you guys to just go through YouTube. Okay, I'll just search for a relevant link. I'll share to the ETIC members. Okay, and they will share to you guys. Okay, so you guys can go to the YouTube and you can just set the VirtualBox in your machine and your Kali Linux.
Is there
For
any
today,
possibilities that we can get this recording of the session, sir?
yeah, it depends on the person who's organizing it, which is EETIC. Those people who wants to record, they can record it. I don't think I can own a recording right now from my account. So I think so. The person
Yeah,
who's
okay,
hosting.
sir.
So
Sir, and
whoever
we want that PPT as well, sir.
for today, to be honest, there's no such thing as a PPT. But then, yeah, sure, I will be sharing the first day PPT today. As such, there's a PPT. Okay, this is going to be a title page, and I'll be going hands-on completely.
Sir, day one recording available?
I am not sure whether anyone recorded day one.
Actually, we have a YouTube link for that. We are shared in our EETI WhatsApp group. Are you in any of those group?
No, can you please share the group link
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
so that I
Thank you.
can
Thank you.
join the group? Thank you so much.
Sure.
Adra, please.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Anyone else? Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyone else
sir.
has any doubts? Which I can clear right now before we start the session. It's okay if you guys can just join with the write the comment down in the comment box, or you can just unmute your mic. It's okay. Video on how to download Kali Linux inside it up. Yes, I will be sharing it. Okay. I'm just doing that right now.
Yes, sir. If any video is there, it will be easy for us to download.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sir. Sure.
Good evening, all. Welcome to Introduction to Ethical Hacking Day 2 session. I welcome Sleety George to continue the class. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ETC. So, day one, we learned what is cybersecurity, what are the types of cybersecurity, and who remembers what is the agenda of today? Who remembers the agenda of today? What did I tell you guys? What will I be doing today? Just share whatever you think in the comments, okay? And to the people who didn't come yesterday, I would appreciate all of you guys to be interactive in the comment section, okay? You can unmute your mic if you're comfortable with it. It's all right. Otherwise, you can just type down in the comment section, no judgment, all right? So let's rephrase what we learned yesterday. Okay, can somebody tell me what is the difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker? There were 2 points, and I stressed those 2 points like for I think so maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So what is the difference between a black hat hacker and a white hat hacker? Just write it down in the comments, okay? Or you guys can just unmute your mic. The intention is different. Okay, cool. Then one more point. Okay, so the intention is different is one good point. Okay, that is one of the point. And the second thing is the level of authorization. That means for a black hat hacker, he has, yeah, okay, thank you. So a black hat hacker has 0 to minimal amount of authorization, whereas a white hat hacker has majority or the complete access of authorization. Okay, thank you, Abhinav and the others. Thank you. So day 2 is going to be basically me doing hands-on. Okay, what we'll be doing today is when it comes to hacking, the first thing we need to learn is Linux. If you're a person in the computer background, you would know Linux. If you're in another background, I'll be teaching you the basics of Linux in a 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, just the basics of if you are comfortable with Linux, it'll be easy for you. But for the people who are going to start Linux, I would just 100%, if you want to go into cybersecurity, you should learn Linux proficiently. That means you should be perfect in Linux. So I will be just sharing a bit of a basic when it comes to Linux of how you can manipulate files, how you can go through directories, how you can like access root, and how you can like open servers. Okay, so we'll be learning Linux today. Then we'll be doing reconnaissance. Who remembers what is reconnaissance? Just a single word or maybe a sentence would be enough. Like who remembers what is reconnaissance? Collecting data. Okay, thank you, Abhinav. So reconnaissance is basically you collecting data of a target machine from your host machine. Your system right now, which you're using for viewing this chat, for viewing this live, is basically the host machine. That means the machine where you're going to work on, and you want to exploit a target machine. This can be done by collecting the data around it. Okay, you've got to do your research. what frameworks are they using, what services are they using, what kind of protection they're using, what kind of security flaws are used or may be there within the frameworks of the structure we are trying to break into. Okay, so reconnaissance is one of the main phases of how to get into how to get an access to the system. Okay, it's the phase of hacking. Reconnaissance is the first step when it comes to attacking a target machines. So basically, we'll be doing reconnaissance today. Okay, there'll be a room called Searchlight, which will be in TryHackMe. Okay, OSINT, which will also be in TryHackMe. I hope you guys have accounts to TryHackMe and Hack the Box, which I told you yesterday. I told you guys to get TryHackMe and Hack the Box accounts yesterday. So if you had it, if you have it, okay, we'll start doing it as we go further today. And if you don't have it, you can just look. I'll be going slow and steady. Okay, and as fast as possible to just reach that deadline of 45 minutes. Okay, so I'll be mostly explaining how much can be fitted within 45 minutes. All right. So we'll have geolocation, OSINT. Okay. Okay. Then Google Docking. Google Docking is basically you using Google search and you finding out data from Google search. Okay. Just what you do every day. That's all from the PPT. Now we'll be jumping to learning Linux. Okay. So if you have Kali Linux, I'll just present my VirtualBox. I need you guys to tell me whether you guys can see it. Okay. Just give me a second. Window. Okay, so can you guys see this? Can you guys see the screen? Yes, okay, fine. So I'll be working completely on Kali Linux today. And I'll be teaching you guys basics of Linux. I think the display might be kind of short, but I'll be just telling you like what commands we'll be using. So firstly, we have to open the terminal. The terminal is going to be your best friend whenever you use Linux or whenever you go to hacking. The terminal is always going to be your best friend. So this is a terminal which is open in my user mode. Okay, there's two modes, which is the user mode and the admin mode. The admin mode is called also root mode, where you can access like root internal files and you can manipulate those files within the system, the main system. When you're using the user mode, basically you are given limited authorization. You're given limited privileges. Okay, you can't change the files and folders within the root or administrator mode, but then as a defined user within a system, you have privileges to use like use those files and folders within your system. So basically in Windows, we see like you have users and you have an administrator mode. So you can't access the system files unless you go into the administrator mode. You can only access your name files. That means the user files of what you deserve. Okay. So we'll be going to, okay, this is my command line terminal. Okay. Can you guys see the command line terminal? Just let me know. Okay. Somebody can unmute because I can't see the chat all the time. So you guys can see what's going on in the terminal. Okay. So the first command is you have to make a directory. So whenever you want to make a directory, the command is mkdir. And the name, that is, for today, we'll put like test. So what mkdir is to make a directory or a folder. So when you did mkdir test, at the current directory, that is Matty, which is my name, okay, a test folder has been created using mkdir, which is the short form of make directory or make folder. Now, if you want to see whether this directory has been made within that, if you want to check whether a folder has been made within that directory, you have to type ls. So ls is basically used to view a folder or file within a particular directory. Okay. So now when I press ls, you will see that there's a list of folders. Okay. And in the end, the third last folder is the one you made, that is test. Okay. Now, if you want to get into the folder called test, okay, you should press CD. CD is a default command. These are all commands in Linux, which is all predefined. Okay, so you have to by heart what mkdir is, what ls is, what cd is, what get is, what rmdir is, what rm is. Okay, so all these are all predefined things. You can't just change it. If you just write any other command like a random command like cdi, which is a program as such, it's not a predefined default Linux program. Okay, so you have to remember all these commands properly. You can do your research. You have a free internet, cheap internet. You can just go like Linux basic commands, and you'll find all these. Okay, now let's go back. Now we viewed all the files within that directory. Okay, now you check. Oh my God, which user am I? So what you do is you type the keyword who am I. When you type the keyword who am I, you basically see what current user are you. Okay, your user right now, my name is Maddie, so the current user is Maddie. Now if you want to see which directory you are in, okay, the command is, everyone, I would advise you guys to note this down. Okay, mkdir is used for making a folder. ls is used to view the contents within a folder. Who am I is basically to show which user you're using. pwd is basically to show which directory you're using currently at present. All right, now you have a lot of folders. You have a test folder. Now consider that you have a current directory with a huge amount of folders. Now you want to find whether a particular folder belongs to that directory. Okay, so what you do is, now you're within Matty. Okay, now you're going to type find test. So if test is belonging within that directory, nothing will be available to you. Okay, so you can check, okay, fine, this folder test is within this directory where I am. Okay, now you want to get into this folder. Now to get into this folder, you should type cd and the folder name, that is test. Now you will see a change. You will see Matty at Kali, that is Kali is the OS we are using right now. Okay, and test is basically the folder we are using. Okay, now you're in the folder. Now if you put ls, okay, when you put ls, you will find out that it's empty. You have nothing to show. Okay, because this is a new directory, and at present there's nothing inside the directory. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a function called echo. What echo does is it inserts a text or it inserts contents within a file. Okay, so now we're going to make a file. Okay, just for an example, we're just going to make a file. Okay, I am learning cybersecurity. Okay, right? Cybersecurity. You can either close it within quotes or without quotes. It's okay. It's fine. Won't make a difference. Okay, you put the greater than equal to greater than symbol, and then you should write the file you want to name for. So that is file dot txt, because you are adding text within the file. Okay, now let us look at what is within this file test. Now we'll again do ls for viewing what is the content of the file test. Now you'll see there's a new file name, which is file.txt. Now we have to view the contents of file.txt. For viewing the content of file.txt, we use a function called concatenation, which is short form for, which can be written as short as cat. So when you write cat file.txt, you can see the text which you've written before. You will see that it will be in the display screen. So I am learning cybersecurity will appear. Can you guys watch? Like, can you guys see this? Is it visible to all of you? Like whatever I'm typing, or is it too small for you guys?
Can you make it a little big?
Give a second, okay? I'll just have to go through settings. It will show a bit of my credentials, so because of that I just have the present screen, okay? You can see probably, okay, one second, give me a second. Okay, is this fine right now?
Yes, sir.
It's fine, okay? So, can you see every single text properly right now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah, okay, sure. So we created a folder right now. We found out how to view a folder. We've created a file. We've added contents within a file. We've discussed how to show the contents within a file using the function called cat. Okay. Now, whenever we want to download, like whenever it comes to like finding the flag, like I've told you yesterday, this the thing called catch the flag. And in that competition, you have to find a flag, and you can do so by downloading a few texts. Okay. So whenever we need to like download a text within a folder, okay, we can use the function get or wget. Okay. Either way, the functions. Right now we have nothing to download, so I can't show it to you, but I will be showing you the current rules. Okay. So we'll be using either get or wget to find out a function, right? So right now, I think all of you written this down? Like if some of you have written this down, it'll be okay. Just write down some of these things. dir. Yeah, one more thing. If we made a directory, how do we delete the contents of a directory? So if you have to delete the contents of a directory, we're going to use a thing called rm. So rm basically removes a file or folder which should be like either empty or non-empty. Okay. So whenever we have to try deleting a folder, we can use rm directory if and only if the directory is empty. So right now, if I go back, now for going back above a directory, you should do cd and then 2 double dots. Okay. So cd 2 double dots basically makes you go up in directory. So right now, if I do pwd, you're back to home and Matty. That means you're back to the user directory. Now, we have to delete test. Now, for deleting test, we're going to use a function called rmdir. But right now, you know that test is not empty. So whenever we do rmdir test, basically we'll get an error. That directory is not empty. Now, if you want to delete a directory which is non-empty, you've got to use, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, let me just do empty test. Okay, I'll just direct it like that, and I'll go cd test 1. I'll do echo 1, then file 1.txt. Okay. Now, if I want to delete the file called test, okay, I'll just go up here. In order to delete the file.test, okay. Now, for emptying a file, basically I have to go cd test. Okay. If you remove a file, you should basically type the command rm. Rm is short for removed. So rm, let me show you what is within the file.txt, which is showing I am learning in cybersecurity. If I want to remove this, we just type file rm file.txt, and basically this is removed. If I show ls again, it's empty. Now if I want to remove rmdir, if you go up again, cd rmdir test, basically it will get removed. If I put ls, there's no test. Now, if there's a lot of files within test, okay, within a folder, you can't just delete one by one because it will be a lengthy process. Now, if you want to delete a non-empty folder, basically you have to do rm, okay, then -rf. So basically you're telling the command that remove a folder test1. So we know that, once again, we know that within, if I open test1, there is a folder file1.txt. That means test1 is not empty. So let's go up on top and we go rm rf test1. Now if you check ls, test1 is gone. The non-empty folder test1 is gone. So now let's go to, I've told you guys to go to hack the box. Okay, so we'll be using a small machine. Okay, you activate the machine. If you guys have any doubt of how to connect to the VPN, okay, just text me. I'll let you guys know, or just tell you guys through a common group. Okay, so we'll be just creating the instance. The benefits of using like this hack the box and try hack me is that they have virtual machines within it. So you don't have to like download a virtual machine separately. If you have the premium stack, you can open the virtual machine over and over again. But if you have the non-premium, that means if you're using the free version of Hack the Box and TryHackMe, you need to connect to the VPN. So if you want to connect to the VPN, I will have a separate talk with you guys, okay, if you're interested. Now we activated the system, we have activated the target machine. We have the IP address of the target machine. Now, as I told you guys, Hack the Box is a training website, okay? You can start from beginner to advanced, okay? There's pathways, you can go systematically, and that will actually improve your repository, that will improve your learning as you go ahead in cybersecurity, okay? Just follow everything as it is, as it is in the website. You will advance yourself in learning from beginner to pro, and then you can go for these competitions. I won't recommend you, like, without getting a knowledge from Hack the Box's pathways to go directly to competition. You'll get confused, okay? Now we activated the machine. We have a target machine IP address. Okay, there's a few theory we might need to learn. And don't worry about this theory. You don't have to go through the net. There's a thing called walkthrough. You open these walkthroughs and they just tell you like the theory which you'll need for breaking the challenge. Okay. So now you have just a walkthrough. Take a time. Yeah. So basically there's a write-up. These are all the theory. Okay, what is FTP? What is going on in FTP? What port they are using in FTP? So I'll just tell you as soon as possible what is FTP. So FTP is basically file transmission protocol. So within a network, if you want to transfer files between a host and a target, or a server and a client, okay, you need to use FTP. Now, which port does the FTP server listen on usually? It's a default port. Actually, everyone has to by heart it. Okay, there's different ports for different protocols. Okay, for SSH, that is secure host port, it uses the port number 23. So ports are basically the nodes through which a server and a client is connected. Okay, so for file transfer protocol, the node which the port which the network uses for transferring a file is basically port number 21. Okay. So you see the answer, port number 21. I've already filled this so that I can make this thing faster for you. Okay, so what acronym is used for secure version of FTP is SFTP. SFTP is basically a small tunnel through which you can send a file and whoever tries to attack the tunnel, maybe a penetration tester, maybe, or a person who, or an attacker might go through the tunnel. If you're using FTP, basically a person can actually access those files. If an attacker tries to attack an SFTP, basically if he tries to get a file, it will be encrypted. So it is the best. So the secure version of FTP is SFTP. It has different port. Okay. Now ICMP is basically a different protocol. Okay. And you might have heard of this function called ping. Now, if we connect a computer to another network, okay, via Wi-Fi or via IP address, okay. Now, if I've connected my laptop, okay, to a common network in your college, now I can find out. Now, this network in your college will have a lot of networks connected, right? Now, you want to check whether whether my computer can be connected to a remote network, which is within that entire network. That means if you have blocks within your college, okay, you have an art block, you have a humanities block, you have a science block. Now, if you connect to the network of a college, okay, to check whether you have a connection to the from the science block to the art block, you can use the ping function. So basically, it'll send ICMP packets from the science block to the art block. So if there is no connection, you don't get any ping, okay? You don't get any ping request. Otherwise, there will be a ping request sent. So I'll just show you guys what actually ping does. So right now we have a target IP, which is given here. This is 10.129.178.254. Okay, this is the IP address. IP address is basically a logical address or an address of a device connected within a network. Okay. So whenever you're connected to a network, each and every device within a network will have a unique address, which is called IP address. Okay, this shouldn't be confused with a physical address. This is a logical address. It can change with the networks, but a physical address is a MAC address. Okay, don't confuse that with the IP address. So right now the website has given us a target machine IP address of 10.129.178.254. Okay, so right now I told you. You have to use the function called ping. So ping basically tells me that my host device is connected to the target device. So we got the target device's IP address, we copy it, now we're going to paste it, now we're going to ping it. Now if you want to ping a certain number of packets, okay, if you use just ping and an IP address, it's going to go unlimited, it's going to get indefinite amount of data, okay. 1 second, it's not connected to the VPN. I have to stop the system. Okay. Connect to the VPN. You download the VPN link. The VPN link goes to your desktop. Open this here. Exit. So basically, for all these things, we'll be using for TrackMe and Hack the Box. We'll be using a certain VPN called OpenVPN. It comes default with Kali Linux. Okay. Most of the hackers use a default VPN called OpenVPN, which is free with any Linux VirtualBox you install with. Okay. So don't worry of installing separately OpenVPN. So basically, you go to the terminal. Okay. Basically, we go open VPN, and whatever file we have, just take this. It's in desktop right now. So cd desktop. Okay, open VPN. Dash. We just take the properties of this file. Okay, rename. Okay, just the entire thing. CTRL A, CTRL C. Okay. Then paste this. Okay, now it will see there's an error right now. Okay, as I told you before, there's two types of users. There's going to be just a user, and there's going to be a root user. So whenever you're going to connect the entire system to a particular network or anything, you need to access the root user. This can be done by using the function called sudo. So sudo basically transfers the privilege of the user to the root user. So whatever the main reason why I didn't use sudo before was any changes within the files will affect the root. Okay, so if you want, at some instances, you want the root to have an access, you can use that sudo function within any line of text. I would recommend you guys not using sudo for everything. Okay, not using the root terminal for everything. Use the normal user terminal whenever you need the convenience of the root permission. Use sudo. So basically, what I'm going to do is take the same link again. Okay, I'm going to add sudo on top of it. Okay, I'm going to type here. Now they'll ask the password. Okay, yeah. So basically, when you see your initialization sequence completed, that means your thing is connected to your what do you call it? Hack the box. Okay, now you can use hack the box completely. Your IP address is all connected. I'm sorry, this caused a lot of delay. Let's try to complete one room today. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. Okay, this will connect anytime. Firmware scans what version of FTP is used, what ICMP is used. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, it depends on my internet connection. Okay, so you got a root device. Okay, you copy the device IP address again. You open a separate terminal. Okay, this is the other terminal. Now you do the function. Just turn this down a bit. Let's do like a 15 or something. Right, okay. Okay, I guess we got to go ahead. There's something wrong with my internet. All right. We'll just go ahead. I think there's something wrong with my internet. Okay, we'll go ahead. So I guess I told you guys to install EXIF tool. So the main reason of why we're using EXIF tool is that whenever we have to look at a metadata of an image, okay, you know what a metadata is, right? A metadata is basically the inner parameters of an image, the inner details of the image. That is like resolution, what device you've used, what kind of image is it, whether it's a JPEG or JPG or .svg image. Okay, so whenever we need to like there are some hidden details which we can't see through a normal editor. Okay, so whenever we look at Windows, I'll just show you my Windows. Okay, so represented. I'll just show you my screen, entire screen. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen. Just somebody, can you unmute and just tell me that you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see my screen. Okay, cool. So I have an image that is in my desktop. Okay, that is the task files. So whenever you have an image, okay, you go to the properties, or if you go into any editor, you go to details, and you'll see this. You'll see the dimensions, the height, width, resolution, then which user, what's the name of the file, and when did it get what do you call downloaded into the PC. Okay, there'll be a few, like if you have location tags on, you can see latitude, longitude, that I'll be covering later, in geolocation. So now the same image, okay, I'll be going to my VirtualBox. Stop sharing this. I'll go back to my VirtualBox here. Okay. Now when we go back to the VirtualBox, we'll just open a new instance. To be honest, it's annoying. This. Okay. Now we have the same image. Okay, Windows XP. That's the image name. Okay. Now we're going to use XF tool. If you want to use XF tool, we're going to use a command called apt install. If you want to install any function or any application, you can use the command called apt install exif tool. Since I already have exif tool installed, I won't need it. But now they'll ask you, they'll tell you permission denied, okay, and they'll ask you, are you root? Like I've said before, if you want to manipulate the system variables, or if you want to manipulate the system folders, or if you want to install a new application, you need to have root access. So you can do that by adding sudo apt install exif tool. When you do sudo apt install exif tool, they'll ask you permission. I will check whether that package exists. If that exists, they'll down. If it doesn't exist, they'll install it. Otherwise, they'll just show you the version number. So let's get back. I have exif tool already installed within my system. Okay, I have exif tool already within my system. If I press this, it will show that exif tool is there. So exif tool. If I want to see what version of exif tool I'm using, I can just go here. I'll open exif tool again. Just minimize this for the convenience. Okay, so exif tool, hit this here, place the image here, you'll get the directories. You don't have to open the directories separately. Okay, now exif tool will take its time and just wait. Okay, now I'll show you guys what's the difference. I'll go and make it bigger for you guys so you guys can see it properly. Wait a second. Okay, so this is basically the image. You remember this image, right? In the Windows, the old versions of Windows, you can see this image in your home screen. So when we look at this image, it's just a normal image. Okay, when we looked at the metadata, we just saw that it has only resolution. There's nothing called ownership, copyright, permissions, which camera has been used, what kind of encoding process has been used. We just saw latitude, longitude, resolution, pixels. That's all. Now, whenever we use exif tool is basically a detective app. Okay, it's a reconnaissance app where you can find out a person's location or maybe an approximate location. You can just collect data by looking at a picture. If that picture has location tag, you can find out from the coordinates, or you can like find out who is the owner, and then you can use OSINT. So basically, since Hack the Box couldn't work, I have to check later what is wrong with Hack the Box. Maybe my internet could be a problem. So we'll be going directly to TryHackMe. Okay. Now at TryHackMe, there's a room called OSINT room. OSINT is basically reconnaissance. You're collecting data from normal day-to-day pictures. Okay. As a normal user, you'll be thinking, okay, fine, it's a picture. That's all it is. But hackers can actually find out where you live, what's your social media account. They can hack into your systems from your personal details. Okay, that's why they tell you that whenever you post a picture in social media. Don't reveal a lot of details. A person can hack you. Even if it goes to social media's encoding, every data, every picture that is within the internet is vulnerable to hacks. So a person can figure out your personal information from look at your images. So don't reveal a lot. It's a major security flaw within most of the companies right now. Even the smallest detail can be noticed by OSINT. So we'll be going to TryHackMe. Okay, we will be going to the Learn section. Now, in the Learn section, TryHackMe is like Hack the Box. Okay, you can learn cybersecurity from beginning to end. In TryHackMe, they have learning parts. They have 9 learning parts, like I've told you yesterday. Okay, you guys can go through the learning parts, or you can search through a particular learning part. You can ask me a list. Okay, I'll tell you which learning parts to go through in systematic order. Okay, so you have to search. There's a room called OSINT. So you should go OHSINT. You can see this room called OSINT. When you open the OSINT lab, okay, it's all the I have a bit of problem with the internet, so it might take a bit of time. Okay, so OSINT is open. Okay, you download the task files. The task file is basically that image which you downloaded before. So for convenience, I downloaded in but beforehand. Okay, so now let's go back to the XF tool. I'll make this bigger for you guys. I don't think you guys can see it properly. Let's change this to maybe 15 or something. Okay, apply. Okay, so now you guys can see it, I guess. Okay, now you can see file size, file modifications are what time, file permissions, file type extension, GPS latitude, GPS longitude has told. Now, this thing which you've seen, copyright, Owood Flint, that is the person who took it, or the account through which the image was taken. Okay, so every like if you take a picture from Instagram, okay, if you take a picture from Google, copyright will always have google.com, okay, whatever, instagram.com / your username, or google.com, wherever you posted it. Okay, it can be Pinterest, it can be Instagram, it can be Twitter, it can be any website, any image which is within Google. The copyright will show us either your username or which website you have posted. Now we've got the username, okay, that is Owood Flint. Now they asked us, what is this user's avatar of? Now when they ask us what is the user's avatar of, we have to check who Owood Flint is. So Owood Flint is probably a person. So I'm just going to go type in the net, Owood Flint. So the person is up there. Yeah, so you'll see Owood Flint, Twitter. Owood Flint, he has a blog, and Owood Flint has a GitHub also. Okay, so now you've seen all these three. You will even see walkthroughs from other people. Okay, so whenever you guys feel stuck in any room, be sure to know that in the internet there's a lot of guide you through all this. There's nothing called a block point. All these walkthroughs will be helping you in this journey. Okay, now we've got to Owood Flint. Now the first link is the Twitter link. Okay, so we're going to open the Twitter link and see what it's going to be. Okay, so Owood Flint is okay. His avatar is a cat. Okay, that is the answer to the question. Okay, so his avatar is a cat. So that's the answer of this first question. The avatar is a cat. Now they're asking what city is this person in. Now, whenever you look at his Twitter, okay, you just have to scan through his tweets. You will see a thing called BSSID. It's basically an area parameter of his router. So he's like, from my house, I can get free Wi-Fi. the BSSID is this number, this code. So basically, you can find out where this person is, which router he is using, because every router in the world is registered by its BSSID. Okay, so wherever that router is, you can locate it anywhere in the world using a thing called Wiggle.net. Wiggle.net is a reconnaissance website which is used for finding out BSSID of any router. So if we go to Wiggle.net, we go back here, we'll copy paste the BSSID. Okay. Copy this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Go. ID. Yeah. Now we'll go for basic search because BSSID is basically basic search software ID. I have a username and password for this actually. So I'll just have to stop sharing for a second. Give me a second. Okay, let's go back. A window. Go here. Okay. Now currently I have not added the BSSID. Okay, this much area of the world has all routers registered. So you can see the plane. Okay, this much like this is the whole world's BSSID. Let it come. Yeah, so I think this is super cool for all of you. Okay. The entire density of all the routers in the world. Okay. So this kind of movie thing, you can use this for reconnaissance. Now what we got is the BSSID. We're going to check now where this BSSID is pointing to. Now wherever this BSSID is pointing to, it will highlight in the blue dot. Okay. Let's just minimize and see in which country is it going to. Okay. Now we scan through the countries and we see this purple circle. Okay. Now we maximize. Okay, and see where this purple circle is, because that's where the BSSID is. Allow for mistakes. Now you'll see that the address is in the United Kingdom and the city is London. So that's the answer for our TryHackMe. Okay, what city is this person in? London. Now what's the SSID of the WAP he's connected to? So basically what you do is keep on magnifying, go within the network. Okay, keep on magnifying, Depends on your internet connection. If your internet connection is fast, then you can do it faster. Okay, you go in within the network. Right. Yeah. Now you go inside the network, you'll find what's the Wi-Fi name and that correct BSSID which I posted, right? You'll see that. If you guys are following me, I don't think it's like that magnified, but the name of the Wi-Fi is Unilever Wi-Fi. Okay, so that is the router name. That is the BSSID. Okay, that's Unilever Wi-Fi. Now, what is his personal mail address? Now let's go back to the Google page where we found out the Overwood Flint's Twitter account. Okay. The main reason, okay, I won't recommend others to use Brave Search. It's just for convenience. I've used Brave Search because of time limit. Okay. So next thing we've used, there's a blog page, there's a GitHub page. The second thing we're going to use is GitHub page. because we can see clearly that he's written his email address. That is overwoodflint@gmail.com. Okay, so follow me on Twitter. This project starts soon. Email me if you want me to help me out. So overwoodflint@gmail.com. That's your second. That's your fourth answer. Okay. Now, what site did you find this email address on? GitHub. Where has he gone on holiday? So basically now we got Twitter, we got GitHub. Now let's go back to his where's that page? Okay, to GitHub page. Let's go back to the Google search. Okay, now the last link which we are supposed to open is the blog page. Now Overflint may be an influencer or maybe he's just a blogger. Okay, so he is in real time telling, I am in this location for the time being. Okay, so when it comes to like cybersecurity, privacy is a huge thing. We use a thing called CIA, which is confidentiality, integration, and accessibility. Confidentiality basically means that your user data should belong to you only as a user, not belong to anybody else. That means, as cybersecurity analysts, we all have to protect our user information. But as a user, you guys also have a responsibility of not leaking the information. Okay, so there are some guidelines which you have to use, that some private information from which attackers can use should not be shared, like your account numbers, like they said, right? Your card numbers, your account numbers, maybe your passwords to important like cryptocurrency, your school, your university Wi-Fi address and all, those shouldn't be shared online. Okay, so right now let's go back. Okay, we've seen his blog. In his blog, he's saying that I'm in New York right now, so I'll update this soon site right away with new photos. Okay, so basically they asked us, where has he gone on holiday? That is New York. And what is this person's password? Now, we have a website. Okay, this is blog website. Let's go back to his blog website. There's a thing called, now whenever websites are made, you create it using JavaScript. Okay, you create you using a scripting language. But if you want to view a scripting language, basically what we can do is the HTTP address that is on top, that is https://oliverwoodflint.wordpress.com. You can just type a thing called view source to get a new web page with the source code of the website. So when I press view source, basically what happens is I'll get the entire source code of the website. Now you scan the website and make sure that if anything is standing out of place, that means if you know how to create a website, you will know that, okay, fine, this component is standing out, this component is within the website, and this component is not within the website. So when you scroll down, okay, I know this will be kind of a new thing for you guys. Okay, it's going to be kind of difficult. You should always remember that for colors, there are certain codes. Okay, for the white color, there's always going to be a thing called #FFFF. Okay, that's how you represent white color in binary code. Okay, so now we are going to go through the view source, and when we go through the view source, let's go this. Okay, now let's get back to the website. Go back to the blog. I know I'm kind of past my time allocated. Okay, I'll just be quick. Let's inspect it. I hope a lot of you guys know how to inspect a website. Okay, just press right click or just put CTRL shift I. It'll just inspect. You can basically see the website source. Okay. So basically, if you want to see how a website is made, you can just do CTRL shift inspect. You can see the view source, and then let's go back to the view source. Basically, I'll show you. So as I've told you, this website's background is white. So if a text is in white, you won't see it. It's literally like hidden. So within the view source, we saw a thing which is written within white. So that is probably a hidden text which is not supposed to be seen by the public user. So let's go back to the view source. Okay, let's go back to the view source. Let's close this inspect value. Yes, again. Okay, this one. View source. We are back to the source. Let's scroll down where the anomaly is. This normal, this normal header file, this normal body, this normal header, okay, this normal class. So I found out the slash FFFF. Okay. Now, as I've told you before, slash FFFFF is basically the binary method of representing white color. So, since the background is white color, everything that is within the text will be white. So, this word has been kept hidden for a particular reason, because that is the password, that is the flag which we need to complete the room. Okay, so what is this person's password? Is basically penny dropper, which we found from the URL, and that's how, like, in small websites, okay, it's a vulnerability. You guys can actually look for bug bounty and stuff. You can go view source for like unsecure websites. They might have user data within the script. Okay, admin privileges within the script. That's what happened for Uber. They had the admin privileges within the PowerShell script. Okay, unlike the normal website script, they had it in a PowerShell script. But the thing is that sometimes whenever you access a website, there's a maybe a 1% to 5% chance that the admin privileges or the admin credentials are within the script. So always checking the script is the number one thing if you want to check what is the vulnerability of a website, besides nmapping. So what we learned today is we did one room. Okay, that's, I guess, according to the intent condition of today, I couldn't do much. But we completed one room, which is OSINT. OSINT is basically a recognition technique where you look at images, and you using the images, basically you'll find out the user, and from the user, basically you find out, you go through the internet, you scurriage to the internet for social media accounts, you go through social media accounts, basically you find out small details from the social media accounts, okay, and you find out, and maybe from the social media accounts you might find out essential data like maybe account numbers, maybe a password, maybe some personal information which you can use social engineering for manipulating them. Like if you guys attended this yesterday session, I showed a Mr. Robot clip which contained Elliot, Mr. Robot basically going through the guy's social media account so that he can manipulate the person and he can understand the person's lifestyle. So that's how you do reconnaissance, okay, and social engineering. This is one of the techniques. OSINT is one of the techniques. I wanted to show you the other one, but since time is not there, plus my internet, I don't know what happened to it. I have to check. Okay, if I can do it tomorrow, I will try to do it tomorrow. But for today, that's all. I hope you guys understood a bit. I kind of rushed because there was a bit of a technical difficulty. But I hope if you guys have any doubts, you can just ask me, okay, as soon as possible. If there's time. You guys are free to ask me doubts, okay?
So if you have any doubts regarding the topic, free feel to raise them up. You can ask queries directly or make use of the chat box for the same.
Do I have time? Like maybe 2 minutes? Like if you guys have doubts, I can just sit in this chat room and you can ask me a doubt.
Yeah.
Because not a lot has been done today because of technical difficulty. But I'll try to like resolve it, and by tomorrow maybe we can do that if you have extra time. Okay. So if you guys have doubts, we can just like resolve it. We can end the session for today, ma'am. If it's possible.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. When it comes,
So that's all for today. Okay.
yeah, so when it comes to installing Kali in a virtual box, make sure that there are millions of YouTube. Check the most latest YouTube channel, okay, for the most latest YouTube video. Just check how to install Kali VirtualBox because it kind of requires a lot of configuration and you have to add a little bit environment variables also. So for that, you can just go to YouTube. I'll be sharing the link as soon as possible to your common group. And if you have time, you can install your Kali Nuts. And tomorrow, let's see if I can resolve it. I will make 100% show you how to do it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that's all for today. I thank our guest, Sleety George, for today's wonderful class. I also thank all the participants. So we will continue the class day after tomorrow on 25th at 7 p.m. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.